I did an unboxing on this a little bit ago, little Scout axe from Canada. I'm gonna work on cleaning it up. There's some striations where they had cleaned the pole at some point before I got it. There's also quite a bit of a burr on the inside of the eye, top and bottom. So I'm using my Dremel tool to clean those out. That way it'll slide down on the handle better once I get this thing hung. Again, I've just got a little burr bit, and this goes pretty quick. There were also a couple of pinholes, top and bottom, that looked like someone had used a center punch on it. I'd clean those up a little bit. This is a 240 grit, only being used on the pole there. The metal had kind of spalled out, and whoever cleaned it up used, I'm guessing, probably 60 grit sanding belt to knock it off, so there's some striations in there. This is just to get those striations out so that it's a smooth surface. After I'm done with that 240 grit, I hit it with some Scotch-Brite pad. That just smooths out some of those lines, the swirl marks from that palm sander. Now again, I'm doing the same thing on the other side, and I'm being real careful not to bring that sandpaper anywhere near the stamp, because I do not want to remove any of that material. I think it was the bottom, maybe they had done the same thing, a little bit of spalling. That looks like it's actually the top. So this one goes pretty quick. And I think I passed this over the whole length of the top, mainly because of this fix. Just remove some of those tool marks from. I've got a little hand sander. This is a 400 grit sandpaper, and I'm just running it over those two punch marks, hitting it there with some Scotch-Brite. Now here we are going to clean off a little bit of that surface rust, hit it with WD-40. Start off with a kind of a softer wire brush. Wipe that off, hit it again, come back with a stiffer wire brush. A softer brush before the stiff brush. I don't know why I do that, other than I think it works better. Don't think there's a perfect method, but once we're done with that, I look through my sandpaper. I'm looking for 1200 grit. Finally find it in the box. I feel like it's an abomination to sand over a stamp or any kind of axe that's got great patina on it like this one does. This 1200 grit doesn't do anything as far as removing material. It just kind of assists with knocking off that little bit of surface rust that's on it. Now I'm hitting it with steel wool, turning it over, and these next several steps are literally just repeat. Going with the small brush, stiff brush, followed by the 1200 grit, followed by the Scotch-Brite. And I do this on the top and bottom as well as both sides. The axe was in pretty good shape as far as rust goes. There was not any major pitting. Everything was pretty much just on the surface. Steel wool. Steel wool just kind of helps blend any kind of marks that might be there. It's a little bit overkill to some people, but I like the cleaner finish is better in my opinion. On the top here, I think I spent a little bit more time from where I had cleaned up those punch marks, but not much. Oh yeah, and the back. So top, bottom, both sides, and the back. Pole, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes on these I'll sand them smooth and shine them up just because I like the look, but on this one it was not in bad shape, so I just decided to leave it as is. Doesn't look like anyone beat this hatchet up too bad for the most part. At this point I'm switching my camera around to my belt sander, starting with a 320 grit belt. The edge on this axe was not bad. Hatchet, sorry. The edge on this hatchet was not bad, so really just cleaning up some of the file marks from whoever sharpened it last. Got my little bucket of water there. It's super important to keep that edge cool. I don't do more than a pass, at most 2, depending on how aggressive I'm being. On this one here, I'm moving to 1000 grit. I know that seems like quite the jump from 320, but it works pretty well. And again, this one was not in bad shape, didn't have any crazy gouges that needed to be taken out. Now on this, I'm just mainly polishing and get that edge nice and sharp. Now we're going over to the buffing wheel. Didn't have it plugged in, so I have to fix that. So I'm using a blue compound, and I just pass both sides and reapply the compound on the opposite side, obviously. Once that's done, I kind of show it off a little bit, but you can tell it looks pretty good. I think I took a couple of pictures here, or maybe I did a video as well, but you can get a better look at
That's pretty good.
how it came out. I think it turned out really well. Really happy with this. So hope you enjoy. Next video will be making a handle. I think I'm going to make a handle from scratch. I've got some elm stock piled over at the corner of the garage there, so should be kind of neat. Thanks for watching.